You know that feeling when you're in complete darkness and someone lights just one small candle? How that tiny flame suddenly transforms everything? Today, we're diving into a powerful message from Philippians about being lights in a dark world, understanding what it means to work out our salvation, and discovering how to shine in ways that truly matter.
And what's fascinating is how this metaphor of light runs through the entire biblical narrative, from Genesis to Revelation. It's not just about personal illumination, it's about transformation.
You know, that's such a crucial point. Before we dive deeper, can you break down what Paul means when he talks about working out our salvation with fear and trembling? That phrase always caught my attention.
This is where it gets really interesting. Paul's actually addressing a paradox here. He's saying we need to take our salvation seriously, that's the fear and trembling part, but then immediately reminds us that it's God who works in us.
Wait, so it's both our work and God's work? How does that actually play out?
Exactly. Think of it like this. God provides the power, but we have to flip the switch. The text shows that while salvation is God's gift through faith, our response should be taking it seriously enough to let it transform how we live.
That makes sense. And this ties directly into being lights in the world, right?
Absolutely. The text specifically says we're to shine as lights in a crooked and perverse generation. It's not about perfection, it's about contrast.
You know, that reminds me of something fascinating about lighthouses, how they were absolutely crucial for ancient maritime navigation.
Oh, that's such a great parallel. And just like lighthouses had to keep their lights moving to be distinguished from other lights, we need to actively maintain our distinctive witness.
That's a powerful image. But Paul doesn't just give abstract concepts, he provides real examples, right?
Yes, he points to two incredible examples, Timothy and Epaphroditus. These weren't just theoretical ideas, these were real people living out what it means to shine.
Tell us more about Timothy. What made him stand out?
Paul describes Timothy as like-minded, someone who genuinely cared for others' welfare. He had what Paul called proven character, tested through real challenges.
That's interesting. So character isn't just given, it's proven through testing?
Exactly. The text shows that it's through difficult experiences that our true character is revealed and developed. It's like metal being refined through fire.
And then there's Epaphroditus. What's his story?
Epaphroditus is fascinating. He literally risked his life for the work of Christ. Paul calls him a fellow worker and soldier, someone who demonstrated incredible commitment.
That level of dedication is pretty challenging to think about. How do we apply that today?
Well, it's about understanding that being a light isn't just about what we say, it's about how we live. Epaphroditus showed that through practical service and sacrifice.
You know what strikes me? The emphasis on community throughout this passage.
Yes. The text shows that we don't shine alone. It's when believers work together, supporting each other, like Timothy and Epaphroditus did, that the light becomes brightest.
That's such a crucial point about unity enhancing our witness.
And it's interesting how this connects to what Paul says about doing things without complaining or arguing. Those things dim our light.
Right, it's not just about individual behavior, but how we function as a community.
Exactly. The text emphasizes that our collective witness is stronger than our individual efforts.
You mentioned earlier about light and darkness. Can we dig deeper into that contrast?
The imagery of light versus darkness appears throughout Scripture. In this context, it's about standing out by living differently.
Almost like a city on a hill that can't be hidden?
Precisely. And just like a city on a hill, it's not about drawing attention to ourselves, but rather pointing to something greater.
Let's talk about the practical side. How do we actually work this out in daily life?
The text gives us clear indicators. It's about character development, serving others, and maintaining unity in our communities.
And all of this while remembering it's God working in us?
Yes, that's the beautiful paradox. We work because God is working in us. It's not either or, it's both and.
You know, there's something really encouraging about that balance.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off trying to do everything in our own strength while still calling us to active participation.
Speaking of participation, what about when we feel inadequate to be this light?
That's where the examples of Timothy and Epaphroditus are so helpful. They weren't perfect, they were real people facing real challenges.
And they still managed to make a significant impact.
Exactly. The text shows that it's not about being perfect, but about being faithful with what we've been given.
That's really freeing, isn't it? It's not about achieving some impossible standard.
No, it's about progressive growth and consistent witness, supported by God's power working in us.
Let's talk about the fear and trembling part again. How do we balance that with joy?
The fear and trembling Paul mentions isn't about terror, it's about reverence and taking our responsibility seriously.
That makes it sound more like respect than fear.
Yes, and this respectful approach actually leads to greater joy because we're aligned with God's purposes.
You know, this whole discussion reminds me of how light affects psychology.
That's fascinating. Yes, light has profound effects on our mental and emotional well-being, just like spiritual light affects our whole being.
And when we're talking about being lights in the world, it's really about influence, isn't it?
Exactly. Just as a small candle can illuminate a large dark room, our influence can extend far beyond what we might expect.
That's really encouraging for those who might feel their contribution is small.
And the text shows that every contribution matters. Look at how Paul honors both Timothy and Epaphroditus for their different roles.
So it's not about the size of the light, but its consistency.
Precisely. It's about faithfully shining wherever we are, knowing that God is the one who makes our light effective.
As we wrap up, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think it's that being a light isn't about perfection, it's about progression. It's about allowing God to work in us while we actively participate in that work.
And doing this together as a community makes the light stronger?
Absolutely. When we unite in purpose and support each other like Timothy and Epaphroditus, our collective light shines even brighter.
This has been really illuminating, pun intended.
And remember, just as a lighthouse guides ships to safe harbor, our consistent witness can help guide others to truth.
What a powerful way to think about our role in the world.
And it all starts with allowing God to work in us, then letting that light shine naturally through our lives.
Thank you for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Remember, in a world that often seems dark, you have the capacity to shine, not because of your own power, but because of the light working within you.